Good morning. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, and now as we do every morning, please rise as you are able, remove your hats, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now, thank you for those who attended the discussion last night about anti-racism efforts and issues at Arlington High School. It was great to have a frank conversation, to hear students' questions and comments, and also to hear about people's commitment to move on. I heard from a couple folks that they had a hard time getting in. We sent the link late to try to keep the meeting secure, but folks might not have found it. So I will be sending a link for another meeting with students on Friday. Students who already attended, you're welcome to attend again. I'd like to continue this conversation about how we can advance anti-racism efforts at Arlington High School, about efforts that we've had in the past, and help us all to educate ourselves and understand. Also next, the graduation streaming video. That'll be on Saturday, so we'll be sending information. We may potentially have already posted it on how to hold watch parties. You can look for that on the senior info site. Also, info about the car caravan on Sunday is posted on the senior info site. If you're a person who lives upon the route or has access to a place on the route where you can safely watch, we hope you'll yell and cheer. We are asking folks not to come down and gather because obviously this is not a parade. You are still observing social distancing, but we really want to cheer on our seniors, and we're excited about having them drive through town all together, even in cars. And now here's a message from Ms. Tivnan for the seniors.
Hi seniors, this is Mrs. Tivnan. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to the class of 2020 for all that you've contributed to the Arlington community. It has truly been our pleasure working with you over these past 4 years and watching all of your amazing accomplishments. We're really proud at how positive you've all stayed during this difficult end to your senior year, and you've persevered. And we're very excited to celebrate with you at some of these unique graduation celebrations that are coming up over the next few days. We're looking forward to the caravan on June 7th, and I've been asked to remind all of those who are participating to please be safe and drive safely. Remember, we hope to have hundreds of cars participating. We want everyone to enjoy the event safely and have fun. We're looking forward to it, and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Ms. Tivnan. And now for our poem of the day, I Died for Beauty But Was Scarce by Emily Dickenson, read by English teacher, Mr. Cincotta. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and stay safe out there.
Hey everybody, I'm going to read for you a poem today by Emily Dickenson. She wrote over 1,200 poems in her lifetime, and this is number 449. They went totally unpublished until her sister found them one day, and she has many gems of poems, and I know some of them have come up on the daily poetry here, but here's another one. I died for beauty but was scarce, adjusted in the tomb, when one who died for truth was lain in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth, themself are one, we brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms, until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. So there are a lot of things I like about this poem. For one, well, let me summarize it first. Essentially, we have one person who's put in the tomb, her body's put in the tomb, and it's suggested that she has died for beauty. But then we have another person, a man who's put in the tomb, and it's suggested that he has died for truth. But he also suggests that we truth lovers, we beauty lovers, we're actually the same type of person. We're not really two different types of people. But while this conversation is happening, or I should say after this conversation occurs, moss enters the picture of all things and kind of creeps up and covers their mouths, and then they're silent. So that's what happens in the poem. There are two corpses. They're talking to each other. They're in a tomb, and then moss wins the day and silences them all. But you know, there seems to be kind of some larger themes happening here too. You know, for one, you have this tension between beauty and truth. which is something that I think we think about in our lives, when we consider how lots of scientists might be on the path of truth and then artists are on the path for beauty, and it seems like these two are not reconcilable. But perhaps, this poem, as, the man suggests, we brothers are, like, they're actually siblings. They're related. We should be kind of holding those two opposites in tension, and maybe that there's something larger there. And both of them did die for these larger virtues. So there's also this sense of martyrdom and dying for a cause. I also like the very first line, "I died for beauty, but was scarce." If you just take that alone without going to the second line, it creates this quick meaning in your head of beauty is not enough, right? You need truth with the beauty. Like, I would be scarce if I only followed the path of beauty. You need truth there as well. So, but then the poem just turns on itself, and you have in the last stanza this piece of nature, this moss that just creeps out of nowhere and covers both their mouths and silences them, which raises the question, are beauty and truth just these human virtues or values? Is there something bigger at play here? Maybe the power of nature, which includes humanity, but is also bigger than humanity. Perhaps that wins the day in the end. So there's a lot to reflect on, and you simultaneously have this kind of contemplation of death and mortality. And while all these heavy themes are happening, you also have Emily Dickenson writing in what's called a ballad form, which is a very musical form of poetry. And without going into the syllable counts and the stanzas and the rhyme scheme that are happening in the poem, you can essentially sing the poem to the rhythm of "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" by the Lion King. If I do it, I'm going to screw it up, but I suggest you go back to the poem and try. I swear it works. I've already recorded this multiple times trying to sing it, and I'm not gonna do it again. I'm sorry. So that's really what's happening in the poem here. And to me, and I think many people will take different messages away from this poem, I get this idea that we shouldn't let death weigh on us either too much or too little. We need to let this kind of the finality of death coincide with the musicality of life. So there you go.